All right, so I figured, since if I plan to do more of these, I figure, unless I'm watching them, even if I am watching them, I need, context. So I should give at least a little history, with my experience with Pokemon cards, as well as, my kind of philosophy or goals when I got back into it. So, um, yeah, so my parents spoiled me, um, growing up. This was something I think, I got started maybe in like fourth grade. Actually, no, earlier than that, maybe like second grade. As it happens. I got some Pokemon cards from McDonald's once or whatever, and um, some kids gave me some free commons and uncommons at school and stuff. So that's how I got into it. And I used to play a lot. Not play, just collect. I never really played the game. Just like the shiny little cards. Um, so yeah, I mean, and there's a bunch of other stories in there that maybe I'll record, just to keep a memory of. But that's for a later time. The long story short of it is, um, I collected for a little while, and then I remember the reason why I stopped. There's different reasons, but the biggest reason was, like, for example, you know you reach a point where you realize that Pokemon cards, or at least opening packs like this Lost Origin pack here, like, it's essentially gambling. You realize that as an adult, but I realized that pretty early. Oh, sorry. I realized that pretty early. This one specific time, I went to like Target or something and spent like over $100, maybe like $130 on, a tin, uh, a collection box and a couple packs, and I bought a ton of stuff. And I was so happy to open it. I opened it like before I even like got home. I opened the back of the car, and $130, and I didn't get anything. And that's okay, but I was pissed. I was really annoyed because, um, you know, it is a soft form of gambling. There's no there's no rhyme or reason that you're gonna either get something or you're not. And I accepted that, but I was pissed because it's like I spent $130, and even though I was like, 8 or 10 or whatever, or 11, I don't know how old I was, but I understood that, like, this is kind of a waste of time. So I vowed, right, in my fit of rage, I vowed, I'm like, I'm never opening another pack of Pokemon cards again. And my parents were like, yeah, all right, okay, um, and but I stuck to it. I stuck to it. When I got down to my birthday, Christmas, they're like, hey, you want to just get you Pokemon cards? I said, nope, not opening another pack of Pokemon cards again. And I took it really seriously. I took all of my Pokemon cards. I still had some in like deck sleeves and stuff, but I threw them all into a big shoebox, and they stayed in the corner of my room for a long, long time. And I didn't open them. I didn't look at them. And it wasn't until 2020 or 2021, um, that I went and just had, everyone has tons of free time, so I decided to look back into them. The true story is, for a couple of years, every once in a while I thought it'd be like, hey, you should go through your Pokemon cards, and I would assure my father, I would say, it's not no use. Like, the older Pokemon cards have value, and the newer current Pokemon cards, which at the time would have been like around Sun and Moon era, they have value. I collected at the worst possible time. None of my cards have value. And at the time, that wasn't exactly true, but it was kind of true, at least for most of the cards. And so I was like, all right. But in 2020, in 2021, I went through it. I went through the entire shoebox, and I got some big boxes off to the side here, and I sorted the commons, uncommons, the hollows. I sorted everything, and I got back into it. I started learning a little bit about it, about like the newer sets coming out. In fact, the reason I have this Lost Origin here is because I remember when I was looking up YouTube videos for how to store Pokemon cards, learning about the different sets and stuff. Um, YouTube has that funny thing of figuring out that, oh, you like Pokemon now. So the current set at the time was Lost Origin, and I got so many ads, Pokemon Lost Origin, and it showed Giratina and stuff. So, anyway, so I got back into it, and my dad and I always like going to flea markets. I'm really into video games, but I opened my avenue. I opened, the search up to Pokemon cards. And I'm an idiot, right? If I had done this earlier, I would have probably found tons of deals. But that's where I'm at right now. This video is already, kind of droning on, but I figure I need to get 2 solid points, just which will kind of key you into the whole philosophy behind this. So I got back into buying Pokemon cards, like actual cards, but I continue to hold the thing that I will never open up a pack of Pokemon cards ever again. That being said, it then follows that the only Pokemon cards that I get into my collection are stuff that are singles that I buy, from, card shops, or more commonly from like flea markets, yard sales, or eBay or Facebook Marketplace. And so, if I continue this series or whatever, and tell you all the stories and stuff, you'll find that a lot of them are from Facebook Marketplace and flea markets and yard sales. So yeah, that's where my Pokemon cards come from. But the idea with this is, and I vowed this to myself, I'm like, I don't need anything. I don't need any of these cards. I've got tons of them off screen, but I don't want to put them on just yet. I don't want to hoard these. I would only pick them up if they were a good deal. And a good deal for me is, and I know this is kind of ridiculous, is that I want to pick them up for like a third of the value. I know that's unrealistic, and many of the stories will that I'll tell you will show that that was a mistake of mine, that I ended up getting like fake cards or stuff, because I was searching for a deal. But then you'll find other times that I actually did get a good deal on stuff. But the whole reasoning behind this is because I don't need any specific Pokemon card. I'll share maybe in another video that I love collecting Pokemon cards of Squirtle. He's my favorite Pokemon. He's the starter that I chose in X and Y from Professor Sycamore. And it was really fun playing Y when I was like 8. So I have a fond memory of Squirtle, so I collect Squirtle cards. But even then, I'm not willing to pay too much for them, because this is a hobby for me. All right, as much as I might joke about what is a good investment, oh, I cringe when I hear that, because these are pieces of cardboard. Okay, yes, some of them have sold for thousands of dollars, but I don't. I don't really consider them an investment. I think they're cool. I think they have a value. But this isn't the stock market, okay? I'm not planning to buy this Lost Origin pack and then resell it years in the future. I think it's cool. I found a good deal on it. I like collecting the packs themselves. I'll get into that a little in a minute. But I do it because I enjoy the cards themselves. And it's a philosophy that my dad has with comic books, where if you try to find something cheap, then whether the price goes up, down, whether it's in better condition or worse condition than what you initially thought it was at, you'll never go wrong. And I'll find there's a couple stories I have where I bid on an item that was, I thought it was worth, let's say $90, so I bid 30. I got all the cards back. The cards are in okay condition, so they're worth about $65. And so it's like, okay, I bid a third of what I thought they were worth, and so now even though they were worth less, I still did pretty good. So that's my idea with cards. And I have no real, I have a fondness for the X and Y sets. Again, I'll get into this in the future videos, but that's my philosophy for the cards. The packs are something different, and it's really weird. I have found that, yeah, one second.